Do you know what a really good day was when we decided to buy matching clothes of what we already have? Okay.
So. No, I just haven't changed.
Right. Well, I have. Thank you very much. So this week, what is it? This week, I'm your host Adam, and this is my good friend Aydan. We do the podcast, the Shodcast, and I've got an Instagram, Cancer and Culture, as well as a YouTube channel. Which you might be watching this on as well. You can watch this and listen to this on Spotify and all that fun stuff.
There's actually footage of a shrimp frying rice in there.
You're not very loud.
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
There's actual footage of a shrimp frying rice up over there, so you go on and go check that out. It's never seen before.
It's never seen before footage, and it's
declassified.
Do you know what? It's actually quite enjoyable, so I'd give it a go. So, Aydan, we have decided this week that we're going to talk about something that I actually wanted to talk about quite a while ago, and I don't think we've done an episode on it, but I'm starting to think we might have actually done an episode on this.
We probably have.
But we're going to do an episode of it again. Okay, so we're going to be talking about survival stories, the deep and the dark, and all the good fun. And so I have found an article on Popular Mechanics, which is the 10 most extreme survival stories we've ever heard. Written by John Wenz.
Who?
John Wenz?
Where?
John Wenz? Why? Who, what, when? Do you reckon John Woo and John Wenz are friends?
No. Friends.
Okay, so the starting off on the list, they have put the Wild Boars. Now, this is the Thai soccer team that got trapped in the cave not that long ago.
John Wenz! Bro, you don't know John Wenz? He has a whole day named after him.
Dude, that was awful. That was too much. That was too much for that payoff. Yours, John Wenz. No. Right. Do you remember back in 2018 they had the boys trapped in the cave?
Yeah, I do remember.
For some
Philippines,
reason,
wasn't it?
They were Thai.
Oh, right.
So basically, the story goes, many people probably know this because it wasn't that long ago. After practice in June 2018, 12 members of the Thai soccer team and their coach decided to explore the nearby Tham Luang Cave, one of Thailand's longest caves. Why do you say longest? Largest?
Because
you wouldn't say longest. Oh,
because it's longer. If it's the largest, then it's not that scary of a cave.
I suppose it's the longest. I suppose, yeah, like a
cave,
large penis isn't as scary as a long penis.
Sure.
The boys aged 11 through 16, and their coach, who was 25. God, imagine being that 25-year-old, like, oh man, my boss is gonna kill me.
I think the guy died as well, didn't he?
I don't know. They waded through waters and began exploring the cave when a flash flood came, and they pushed deeper inside, eventually making their way to an elevated platform 4 kilometers into the cave system. That's quite far, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, that's...
To be in a cave.
That's like...
That's like 2.8 miles or something.
I've played the forest. That's like as far down as the sinkhole.
That's quite far. When a flash... no, I've already done that. The flood filled the twisted cave system with water, trapping the boys for 17 days. For the first 9 days, they had no food and relied on dripping stalactites.
Did any of them survive?
Water. I think that's I don't know. It's stalactites. Stalactites.
Stalactites.
Stalactites.
Those are the things that like
the dropping things.
They
anyway,
drop nitrate water.
But they didn't sit and wait, realizing that.
Bro, David Attenborough, big up, yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Yo, David, yeah. Realising that they were trapped, the boys took turns digging a 16-foot hole into the cave wall, hoping to find a way out. They meditated to save energy and to avoid thinking about food. Then, British divers, I thought they said British drivers, and I was just imagining some bus drivers.
Some truck drivers down there.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll help you out.
We need to go save some Thai boys from a cave.
Were there any survivors, though?
Yeah. So the British divers who set out into the cave's entrance 3 hours prior happened upon the boys. So they went on a 3-hour dive in through these tiny caves.
Fucking hell.
Surviving that long was only half the battle, though. Thai Navy SEALs entered the cave to help and hang out with the boys as the rescuers planned how to get them out safely.
They were real SEALs.
Sending the SEAls.
Well, that would help you out, bro.
Dude, if you were in a cave and it's just like a seal and then pops out the water and you're like,
It literally
and then there's a note,
guides you,
there's a
mate.
note tied to it and it's like, okay, we sent our best soldier to find you. we didn't want to risk sending a human, so we.
The seal would get you out of it.
So, what was it? Over a 3-day mission, divers retrieved each player and their coach. The journey to the surface required each boy to wear a full-face diver mask, be tethered between 2 divers and swim for hours through turns and exceedingly tight squeezes. Thanks to the effort of the Thai Navy SEALs and the international dive community, all of them survived and were able to quickly return to a normal, healthy life.
It's one of them in the pub like years later. It's like, it was after a football game. We were just kids.
It was like every other Sunday. We were just practicing. Our coach said, "Hey boys, you want to go into the cave?
You want to go explore a cave?"
We were just boys. We didn't know anything."
All of a sudden, we get to an elevated platform 4 kilometers in, and the water starts rising.
I remember little Tito. He touched me on the shoulder and he said,
Tito, he started to panic.
"Have you noticed
He was
the water
wasting
is
our
rising?"
oxygen. I had to come up on choke him out.
The coach told me I had to do. I had to deal with him.
The coach made us dig a 16-foot hole in the tunnel with using just our bare hands.
We put Tater in the hole.
My fingers became bloody numb by the end.
We weren't boys anymore. We were machines. Like cog. Okay, so
Tito's wasting our
oh yeah,
oxygen.
no, I was. There's one last bit. Tragically, one Navy SEAL died during the rescue effort. I remember that his mask got caught.
Bro, one of the SEAls died,
Yeah.
and like all the kids are fine.
All the kids are
Mate,
fine.
what a rookie!
Yeah, I know. He was actually a former, so he was retired, so he probably did his service, and then was like, "I'm going in to help the kids."
Lost mission.
And then
That's P.
They can hear. They can like make him into a hero though.
I just called him a rookie.
One of the kids accidentally breaks his mask and he can't go. He's filling up with water, so the Navy SEALs like gives him his mask, and he's like, "You go on," and the kid's like, "No," gives him his mask, and it's like heartbreaking. Then he just
Is that true? Or did you just make that up?
I just made that up. I don't know.
Put that in the movie. Someone sign you
There
up.
is a movie.
Yeah, but that
They made a movie.
That's
I think
not
it's
in
got,
it because
I think
they're
it's
not
got,
smart
like,
enough.
who is it? It's like fucking. Hang on. Thai soccer team trapped in cave. Movie. Oh, there is
Shaolin
there
soccer.
is no. The Trapped 13.
But yeah, no, there's no. With
Oh no, it's called 13 Lives. That's what it's called.
With
13. Colin Farrell.
with a basic bitch name like the 13 Lives, there's no way they've got that little plot ending that you put in there. That's fucking.
Dude, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, that was
Oh, wow, I
fucking-
started to feel for the guy. I didn't
Well,
even know his
literally,
name.
I
He
fucking-
didn't even say his name in that article. Can I just say
What?
John Wans or whatever your name was?
John Wens.
Okay,
Wens?
so where was I? I was telling some great stories. So, do you know what? Fuck being in that situation. I ain't dealing with it. Fuck that. Okay, so the next one is Angela Hernandez. So, in July 2018...
What's her name?
Angela Hernandez.
Oh, if we said Antler.
Antler Hernandez. Dude, that's a badass name. That's like a cartel leader name. You know what I mean?
Antler.
Antler Hernandez. He's the most wanted man this side of the border.
Oh shit, man. Some say he dug a cave out of Guam. The whole country, he just dug his fucking way out. He never found him. He was a fugitive of the law for so long.
People say he popped up in Italy. Disappeared into a crowd. Never to be seen again.
Disappeared into a herd of sheep. And that's where the folklore comes from. The chupacabra.
Some say he died. Some say he became a legend. Okay, so in July 2018, Angela Hernandez was driving near the Big Sur down Highway 1 heading towards the Southern California in her SUV. When a small animal crossed the road, Hernandez swerved to miss it, and in doing so, shot off her SUV right off the road and off a cliff, tumbling about 200 feet.
What
to
are
a
you doing,
desolated,
Angela?
isolated rocky beach. Now, Angela...
Was she stuck on the beach?
So Angela had a brain hemorrhage, fractured ribs, broken collarbone, ruptured blood vessels in both eyes, and also had a collapse of the lung. But she hadn't died. When she came to, water lapsed over her knees. She broke her window with a multi-tool, crawled out of the window and swam to the beach and passed out. When she came to again, she had no shoes and was understandably banged up, but she began to walk along the shore for help. She used a hose from her car to collect dripping water from the moss along the shore. She walked for days. Up above, she could see cars passing by atop the cliff, but they couldn't see her or hear her screams. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's
horrifying to see people, and it's not even
it's like they're so close, but so.
It's like when people are on a desert island and they like the plane goes past them, or like the cruise ship goes away or whatever.
Literally.
So it wasn't until a few hikers scouting the beach for fishing spots stumbled across her wrecked jeep and scoured the beach until they found Hernandez crumpled up sleeping on some rocks. They gave her some water and raped her till she died. Wow.
But did it end like that?
Yeah. No, it didn't. No, they gave her water and then called for help. Eventually, rescuers used ropes to descend the cliff and evacuate Hernandez to the hospital, ending her 7-day ordeal. Sorry, I didn't mean to like...
she fucking took the wind out of me there. I was like, she went through all that to get raped and die?
You looked too relaxed, man. Just sitting there like, you knew where this was going. Yeah, she's going to get rescued. I was like, I got to give you a plot to it.
Well, I wasn't relaxed. I was just drinking my coffee.
Sex sells, man.
Actually,
anyway.
Does it?
Do you know what? Fuck that. But imagine 200 metres. I don't know what Beachy Head is, which is... one of the top suicide spots in the world.
Beachy Head is one of the biggest cliffs. Like that's got to be more than 200 meters. It's the biggest cliff in fucking England.
Should we have a look?
It's the biggest cliff in England.
Okay. How is it? What is Dover? Not that White Cliffs of Dover?
Oh yeah, it can't be 200 meters.
How tall is Beachy?
Thinking about it, it can't be. If you said 200 feet, 200 meters.
Yeah, Beachy Head's only 162.
Close.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, 200 meters and you survived that. That's rough.
Yeah, that's fucked. It's like someone was telling me the other day, Coast Guard found someone who just survived a fucking jump and it had disaster moments at the bottom of Beachy Head. It was Matt, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, yeah, Matt's told me some things. I don't have the balls for that.
No, I don't like that sort
of
shit.
Fair play to him. Someone's got to do it. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one. So, Stephen Callahan, after successfully sailing across the Atlantic Ocean solo in his 6.5 metre sloop, Stephen Callahan started a trip home in January of 1981. The storm around his boat one evening didn't concern him, but the hole a whale or a shark put in his boat's hole in the middle of the night amidst a storm surely did. As the boat started to sink, Callahan repeatedly dove back into the sinking ship to grab survival gear. With food, water for a few days, Callahan clambered into his 6-foot circular raft adrift 800 miles west of the Canaries.
Yeah, he just missed Africa, bro. This is the one that Life of Pi is based off of.
Is it?
Yeah, except they turned it into a whole story that turned into a metaphor. They added the extra people in the fucking Life of Pi, because you know how there was a zebra and a tiger and a monkey, and they were actually real people, and it's he just told the story like they're animals and left out the part where he cannibalized them.
Really?
Did you never get that? It's a hidden message of the movie.
Is that really what Life? I haven't really seen.
Yeah, because the guy's interviewing him. He's well, he's. No. There's one guy eats 2 of them, and then he fends off his life and kills the other one, and then he probably eats him. Yeah, and that's when he starts to go insane in the movie, and he's on the island and he starts tripping the fuck out. It's because he's going through a really bad time because he fucking killed and ate someone.
Is that actually?
Yeah, bro. It's why at the end of the movie, he's a lot of people say it's not with animals, it's people, and then the last part of the movie, he's well, you just gotta decide for yourself, innit? Which story is true.
What the fuck? Richard Parker eats him, and in the second it implies that Pi kills and eats the man.
There you go.
Pi meets a fellow castaway in the first version of the story. What? The cook kills and ate the sailor and Pi's mother, and then Pi kills and... Sorry, I'm so confused.
I can't believe you didn't know this.
I didn't know this was true. To be honest, I hadn't really looked into it. It just looked like a shit film. So
it's actually a good film.
Oh my god.
I fucking loved that film.
So I got to start looking into this now. Sorry.
You should watch the film again.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen the film?
No, this is why we're talking about it.
Bro, it's a fucking gas film. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Should we watch it?
So, bro, I'll watch it after this.
Nah. Take an acid tab or something.
I don't know, I get hella emotional when the flight leaves, man.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. As the boat started to sink, Callahan grabbed a little survival food. With food, water for a few days, Callahan climbed above this 6-foot circular raft. Callahan fished with a spear gun and made water with a solar steel. On day 14, he signalled to a passing ship, but it kept on passing. After a month, he drifted out of the ship lanes. By day 50, he was covered in sores from salt water, struggling with dehydration in tropical waters, and struggling to patch a hole in his raft. Exhausted and after losing a third of his body weight, Callahan was finally spotted by some fishermen off the coast of Galapagos as some birds and fish circled his raft, foraging for fish guts he tossed back into the ocean. He had been adrift.
Did you say Galapagos and not the Galapagos Islands?
It's Galapagos.
Oh, what?
Bloody loop.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
I thought you mispronounced Galapagos.
No, it's not Galapagos. No. He'd been adrift 76 days though. 76 days. I don't know what.
That's not the one I read about. The one I read about was 9 years.
Your one sounds fucking mad.
Yeah, it was like 9 years he was out there, and he literally just went past Africa, and then he went up the whole Pacific.
Oh, this next one looks good.
Oh, really?
Okay, so the next one, the Robinson family. For 38 days, the Robinson family was lost at sea. Doug Robinson, a British dairy farmer, just wanted to take his family on a boat trip for the University of Life, as his son called it. On January 27, 1971, Dougal, his wife. Oh, Dougal's the main guy. Sorry, I thought he said Dougal was the wife. I was like, what? Dougal.
Kind of backwards family.
Dougal, his wife. Little femboy twinkling.
Like little Whitakers in their boats.
Dougal, his wife, and their 4 children set out on a wooden schooner called Lucetti, heading to parts unknown. Douglas, the eldest son, told the BBC that his father had made few preparations for the trip. Though he had been in the British Merchant Navy for 17 months at sea, the family fared well, sailing from port to port and seeing the world. But on June 15th, 1972, the family encountered a group of killer whales off the Galapagos Islands.
Oh shit,
yeah,
there you go.
There you go. The whales attacked the boat, splintering it, severely damaging it, and the ship was taking in water.
They were probably just curious. You weren't even...
All they had was a lifeboat and a small dinghy, and just 6 days' worth of food. They survived on rainwater and hunting turtles. Adrift at sea, hoping to ride Pacific currents to the middle of the ocean.
They hunted turtles.
Which would push them towards the Americas.
Bro, he should have fucking made themselves a rope off of the hair of their back and strung the turtles together to expand the raft.
The hair on their back?
Yeah, it's Jack Sparrow.
Do you have hair on your back? Me neither, so we're fucked if we're on an island. You're going to do that idea?
I just use hair from other sources of my body.
Imagine you're stuck with your... Like, it's one thing to be in a survival situation, but you're with your family. Like, if you're going to have to be in... You get to the point where you have to eat something.
Like, none of you wanted to go other than the dad. Just like a proper white dad. He's like losing his mind out there because he just wanted to go on a nice day out.
Yeah, just like, he's going first, right, guys? Yeah, he's going. I definitely know the camera just closed down because I've got to fucking do something.
So is it not on?
No, it'll turn off, but we got this, so it's fine. But we're just going to do this quickly anyway. After 16 days, the raft was no longer usable, so the family of the inexperienced crew members fled to the dinghy. It was a 10-foot boat, far over capacity, but they clinged on until they were discovered by Japanese fishermen on July 23rd, 1972.
Those are probably the ones that aggravated the killer whales in the first place.
Yeah, it probably was. It probably was. It was just like, I'm gonna feel bad that we are gonna fuck the boat.
Fuck you, dolphin.
Fuck you, whale. Fuck you, dolphin. Sorry, we shouldn't. Oh, I think the next one is. Oh no, I don't know who this is. Yeah, do you know what? Fuck that. Fuck being surviving with your family. You'd have to take out your family. At least if you're with like strangers and it's like, yeah, you know, you can just pretend they're like.
I'd hate to be with strangers because I wouldn't know what they'd be thinking. I watched
that Yellow Jacket show. Did I tell you about that? It's like the film Alive, which is based on a true story where the Norwegian they're like Austrian or whatever, they're like a soccer team or rugby team, and they crash in the Peruvian mountains, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
And then they have to eat the pilot. And
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's a female American soccer team. And
okay, so it's got a bit of sex appeal.
It's got a bit of sex appeal. They're all women apart from this one guy, and they all want to fuck him. And they find a cabin on this like deserted island or whatever.
And they all eat him instead.
They find a gun.
Okay, thank God.
No, they find a gun and they go off hunting and basically they end up cannibalizing this one girl. Because she
was the fat one on the
team.
No,
she basically they take her. They tell her to get outside because they fall out with her because they've all been tripping balls, fucking each other. And they keep tripping balls, and then they nearly killed one of them because they're tripping balls. Anyway, she sleeps outside. It snows. She fucking dies, and then they set fire to her because they cremate her, rest in peace. And then snow falls on her burnt body, and it makes it this crispy, golden skin. And they're all just looking at each other, and then it cuts to them all being Greek Rome toga wearing, and it's this lovely meal of grapes, and they're all just pulling it, and there's juice running down them, and it's all this, and then it kind of does a flash image of them ripping this girl literally apart, and they're taking her fingers and biting it, and it's just fucked because the guy who's the one guy, he fucked her the day before, and it's and now he's tearing apart her stomach, they're literally anyway. That movie, that is an Amazon show. It's quite good.
It sounds pretty fucked up, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then they basically do this game that's you pick a card, and if you have the Queen of Hearts with the eyes cut out, you're the next victim
to be eaten.
Mm-hmm. And they hunt you down.
Well, it's if it's the guy, he's looks like I'm gonna have a full belly tonight. Is that way you're hunting me down?
Nah, he's well into it.
So have you seen the fucking? It was a real island survival, and they had a girls' team and a boys' team, and they had to get the boys' team to rescue the girls' team at the end.
Because they fucked up, yeah.
That's what it'd be like out there.
See, I think men would mostly thrive.
You'd have fun.
I think women. Honestly, they'd have a troubling time.
Yeah.
Not because their inability and physical and all that. I just feel they'd end up arguing with each other.
Yeah, because it would be a status thing rather than we need to survive. I kind of want to lead.
Yeah, but they'd just go hey, Stacey's kind of being a bitch today, isn't she?
Yeah, bro.
And then it starts
Did you see how many grapes she picked this time? Bro, she's definitely putting some in her back gob
when she picked 3 grapes, and I saw her take 12. Mm. She's not taking her cup.
We gotta let her sleep outside in the snow one night.
You think of what I'm thinking? Okay, so the next one is Harrison Okini. On May 28th, 2013, divers of the wreckage of the Jacon 4 were attempting a triage on the vessel, which sunk 100 feet off the coast of Nigeria after capsizing. What they didn't expect was to find a survivor. Oh shit, I think I know this one. Harrison Okini was the ship's cook, so he survived.
He's like Steven Seagal, in that
100 feet deep, and they went down.
Oh, he was probably in a fucking air pocket at the fucking the heel. Of the
he was
boat.
in the toilet when the boat capsized and tried to reach an emergency exit hatch, but failed. The boat began to fill with water with Okini inside. Eventually, he found himself trapped in a 4-foot square bubble of air. Fuck that. You're on the shitter and the boat goes down and then you can't get out.
Fuck
but
that.
Then you don't die. You don't just drown. You're just trapped 100 feet.
Yeah, fuck that.
And you couldn't get out because the pressure would just keep
the pressure would keep the door fucking up, it would keep you in the fucking air bubble.
Keep you in the air bubble, and you wouldn't be able to do anything just using up that oxygen.
Literally, the moment you open the door, the water would crash in, you wouldn't be able to get out against the current. Fuck that. I hate water.
I fucking hate it. After 3 days, he had given up on hope. Then he heard a knock. No, that would freak you out. Dude, you're sitting there, you're 100 feet, you're just waiting for your death. You're just sitting there, and then you just hear
They probably heard him crying. They're like, what the fuck is that? There's someone in the toilet. You'd be so confused.
Hey buddy, are you in there? Someone's in here. Wait, someone's in here. Okay, so it was the hammer of the divers working on the surface of the ship. Eventually, diving gear was brought to him, and he was brought to a decompression chamber where he had to spend 2 days. That's mad. He had been at the depths where it should have killed him in the situation that took the lives of everybody else on board. Unsurprisingly, he vowed to never go to sea again. Yeah, you got off so lucky you wouldn't even risk it, would you?
I'd go for a little paddle.
Do you know what? No.
Really.
No. It's all about it. No pain, no gain. We've got to risk it.
That
would be terrifying, man.
I've got a cool ship story.
Yeah, go on.
It's called Raft Wars, right? There are these 3 babies, and they've got these fucking tennis ball launchers, and they go out and fucking kill these Somalian pirates, bro.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch
children
that,
hunting down Somalian pirates.
Yeah,
That's something I'd watch.
That is pretty much what Raft Wars mini clip was.
Mini clip, God, I miss Flash.
Yeah, man.
Adobe Flash. Great.
That was the one.
Ugh.
With the Henry Stickman games. Like,
no.
Steal the Diamond.
No, I don't remember that.
Do you not?
No.
It was one of those, like, you know how LA Noire is, like, every option can turn, like, the whole story around.
The narrative.
It was one of those games, but it was, like, the first of its kind. It was a Flash game. It's, like, Stealing the Diamond was the best one. There's also Escape Prison.
Oh my God, I know exactly
what
you're
on
about.
Man.
No, I know exactly
They're so good.
Yeah, I used to play them all the time.
Yeah, man.
No, I actually do now. Yeah, because you get the cake and like you could like either use the file or like you could use like a laser gun or something. And it would just like sometimes you don't actually die, and if you did it the right pattern, you could actually escape.
Yeah, and there was loads of different endings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, they were good games.
Yeah, Henry Stickman.
Is that the name of them? Right. Okay. Okay. So, endurance expedition. Ernest Shackleton had braved the South Pole once, and he was ready to face it head-on again in 1914.
He was trying to find the Transformers.
Setting out what the fuck is it called? Not the Omnitron. What's the fucking
Ben 10
box?
Omnitrix.
No, what's the fucking cube?
The Allspark.
The Allspark. The Allspark.
Samwick Wiki. Are you ladies man 2, 3, 4, 5, 7?
Right. He set out with a group of 28 men to the South Pole. They had hoped to make it all the way across the continent, arriving to a waiting ship on the other side. Instead, they became hopelessly trapped on the ice as their ship, the Endurance, fell apart. Eventually, supplies began to dwindle, and the men took to their lifeboats, floating to an island that took 14 days in bitter Antarctic seas to reach. From there, they had to mount another expedition to South Georgia Island, the nearest inhabited island, nearly 1,000 miles from their starting point.
In 14 days, do you reckon one of them tried to pop a secret wank?
Gotta keep warm. Gotta warm me cargoes.
Or do you reckon it was a group meeting, like, boys, gotta keep warm?
Alright guys, me, Dave and Greg, we've been talking, and we think we found a solution. And they just, like, what is it? And they're like, okay. Make us take off their clothes.
Now, if we're willing to add an extra step, this solution could kill 2 birds with 1 stone when looking at the limited supply of food.
Jesus Christ. Despite multiple hardships, all 28 on the mission survived.
It clearly wasn't hardships. The ship fell apart.
Despite multiple hardships, they all survived, though some dogs weren't so lucky as they were eaten when supplies ran low.
Yeah, you would go for the dogs first. I wouldn't be able to myself. I'd have to like look away and then munch. And
what was unfortunate was the ship that was waiting for them on the side of the Antarctic. While waiting for them, because they got lost, 3 people died.
What, in the ship waiting for them?
Yeah, because they were taking so long.
They just forgot about those.
Yeah,
those guys.
And then they're like, yeah. Were we meant to be somewhere?
Oh no, Martin!
Oh. This is some captain like, oh, he'll be fine.
He had a shit fantasy league team anyway.
How many more of these are left?
Bro, his fantasy football team?
There's 4 left.
Dead.
We can do that. There's 4 left. Okay, right. Julianne Kopicki.
Did you start the Gorillas one?
Is this the Gorillas one?
Or is that the airplane crash one?
Julianne had survived 2 big survival stories to tell by the end of her ordeal.
Oh, maybe it's
on
both.
Christmas Eve, 1971. She flew on a Lancer Flight 501.
She survived 2 plane crashes.
Which was struck by lightning. It began to disintegrate in midair, and Juliana found herself strapped to her seat 2 miles above the Peruvian rainforest. Holy shit. You just fucking go around.
Literally,
Fuck
bro.
that.
You're just like fucking hanging on by like a tree at the top of the canopy, bro.
You're just like hanging. You're trying to get your thing. You're like Brad Pitt when he's like.
Literally, but you know if you unbuckle, like you'll drop and you die off of the canopy.
So you gotta Fuck that. Right, okay, so she was battered, she was bruised, her collarbone was broken, but she was still alive. She was the only survivor of the flight, and now found herself in a wilderness all alone. Some candy was her only food, but she found a small stream.
Wait.
She wandered downstream and
This isn't a trailer.
able to keep herself hydrated at all times using the stream. The insects of the jungle stopped short of eating her alive. Maggots had infested her arm, but after 9 days she was able to find an encampment. She gave herself rudimentary first aid, including pouring gasoline into the maggot-infested arm. A few hours later, lumberjack workers found her, giving her the hardest fucking of her life. She was fucked until the inch of her life.
Yeah, this is a long story. You're going to have to pick up the pace.
She picked for more.
This is just a two-part because she survived 2 plane crashes.
That was actually all I've got on this one.
Oh, what?
Giving her, she was lifted in an airfield in the hospital. Her story was eventually told by 2000 documented Wings of Hope director who had a seat booked on the very flight before cancelling. Oh my god, Werner Herzog, the director, had a fucking ticket on the plane.
That is
amazing.
Crazy.
But hang on, so she was on 2. Why didn't it tell me about the other one? I want to see the other one.
Okay, so this is probably the same, pretty much, story.
Okay, well, yeah, she did the same thing. Imagine Die Hard 2 where they do it in an airport instead of the tower, the block.
Well, imagine Die Hard, except they do it inside a plane in air.
Isn't that like Non-Stop? The Liam Neeson movie.
Never seen it.
I think it's Non-Stop. And they also did one recently called Plane.
Very creative.
Jerry Butler.
Very creative.
Okay, the next one is a classic. It's Apollo 13. To date, no living humans have ever been as far into space as the crew on the Apollo 13. The ashes of Clyde Dombrell have far past Pluto by now, but that's a different story. The crew path took them 248,655 miles from home before swinging back down for a miraculous landing. The crew never made it to the surface of the moon, the original destination intended, but they encountered a problem that could have killed them all. Faulty wiring ignited an oxygen tank, blowing out the part of the spacecraft. Using a lunar module as a lifeboat, the crew stretched out rations that remained. They had to make a day and a half worth of food. For 2 people, lost 4 days among 3 people. The crew had to make an orbital correction that took them far from the moon to slingshot them back to Earth. The lunar module provided a safe haven for astronauts in space.
Oh, so they harnessed the orbit.
Yeah,
that's pretty smart.
They slingshot themselves from the moon to Earth. The lunar module, the crew moved back into the damaged command module before successfully making it to ground. All were unharmed, safe for a severely dehydrated Hayes.
This reminds me, do you know why? You know, if the moon was like quite a bit smaller, it wouldn't be round at all. And this is the same reason why loads of planets are round. It's because you have to be a certain size as a celestial object. The gravitational pull rounds the fucking rock by itself. So it naturally gets rounded. Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen Apollo 13?
Nah, I get it confused.
Is it Apollo 11?
I get it.
It's a film.
It's Apollo 12.
I think it's Apollo 11.
It's Apollo 12,
the
man.
Tom Hanks one is Apollo... No, it's Apollo 13.
I prefer...
They did Apollo 18.
Prefer Armageddon.
Oh my god. Apollo 18. 3 astronauts are sent to the US for lunar explorations. When collecting moon rock samples...
not the voice. I can't take the story seriously.
The astronauts encounter eerie happenings which prevents their return to journey to Earth. Okay, right. Let me go back to what I was doing.
I thought you just did another one.
No, we've got 2 more. Well, I'm doing it now. All right, I got Angela. Right, I have. Right, Aaron Ransdell. It's 127 hours.
Yeah, we'll skip that one.
I'm just gonna say it's 127 hours. Okay, Adja Blackjack. Adja Blackjack.
Oh my god, she's like a
Adja Blackjack.
Like a Native American Eskimo.
Alaska native Adja Blackjack was a member of the indigenous Inuit people. She was hired by Canadians on an expedition to the Wangul Islands, which are now considered Russian territory. The goal was simple: to claim them in the name of Canada. And Blackjack was the seamstress and the cook for the expedition. 5 members of the expedition were led on the island. On September 16th.
You can't even read it with the pauses.
I can't. The pressure's just coming to me, man. You're stressing me out. 5 members of the expedition were left on the island on September 16th, 1921, as a territorial claim.
Wait, so by 1921 they hadn't explored the whole of Canada and Alaska?
No.
Bunch of pussies. I would have got that done in at least the 1800s.
So 5 members of the expedition were left on the island in, for territory claim, but their rations soon ran low. 3 members went off in search for help, while Blackjack took care of an ailing. An ailing? Is he ill? You ailing crew?
I can't see where you.
Okay, so
I don't know where you're at.
She was taking care of an ill crewmate who later perished, leaving her all alone on the island. Blackjack survived there for 2 years. This is not an easy task considering the risk of polar bear attacks. She learned to hunt seals and partly surviving off their meat.
Polar bear attacks?
Yeah, she was finally rescued on August 28th, 1923. Almost 2 years after she had been left on the island. So they hired her and then went, alright, let's leave her. Okay.
A polar bear can smell you from like miles away.
But what did she do?
I can cover herself in mud every day by the sounds of it, bro.
Blubber.
Literally, bro.
She lived off the blubber.
Lived off of blubber. She hacked seals like a goddamn professional. You know those cute baby seals? Fucking hacked them.
Okay, so according to a site run by the University of Alaska at Anchorage, Blackjack did not receive a hero's welcome. Instead was criticised for not saving the life of her male